Okay, so on today's assignment, we're going to be focusing in on the attributes that we had been talking about yesterday, but today only on linear attributes. And we're really not going to talk about slope. So we got a whole unit to talk about slope and get into slope. I'm really focused in just on these key points. And so we're really going to be talking about that X and Y intercept today. We're also going to be practicing using the Desmos calculator on some stuff today. And so, but to begin with, I can't use the Desmos calculator until I have Y by itself. So the first thing we're going to do today is get Y by itself. So you will need to write down the equations, okay, and get Y by itself. So every time that we need to get Y by itself, we always do the same two steps. And so you can do what I'm about to do on the next two questions. So we're always going to get rid of X first. So if this is a positive 2, to get rid of it, I'm going to minus 2. I'm going to minus 2X, and if I do it to one side, I've got to do it to the other side. So we're going to cancel these out and end up with negative Y is equal to. Now you will never, ever, ever be able to combine these. And so if there's a number right here, we like for the X to go first. So we'll put minus 2X and then minus 2. Then the second step, so that was the first step right there. We subtracted the X. The second step is always divide by the number in front of Y. Well, if there's a negative right there, then there is a number in front of Y, and it's an understood 1. So you can't see it, but there's an understood 1 right there. So we're going to divide everything by this negative 1. So these will cancel out, and then we got Y equals. Anytime you have a fraction, you actually want to use the scientific Desmos and put the fraction in there, and we'll reduce it for you. This would reduce to positive 2X. And then the same with this fraction. Throw it in there, and it would also reduce to a positive 2X. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go plug this into the Desmos. Always reload your Desmos because you've already had a different graph in there. And we're going to type in Y equals 2X plus 2. And notice that right away it pops up these points right here. Now, if you hit enter, it might take away these points. So I don't hit enter, and I make sure my cursor stays in there. And these points will automatically pop up because it's saying, hey, there's some important points right here. It knows about these important points. So that's the x-intercept, which it says is -1, 0. For today, I'm really just interested in that -1. And then the y-intercept would be 2, or 0, 2. And so we're going to come back to the assignment. That's it. And so right here, we would put, I think it was -1, 0 and 0, 2. We are not going to do slope today. Now, I'm not making y'all graph today because we just saw the graph. So there's no point in us drawing it. But we haven't seen the table yet. And so I'm not going to make you write the table, but I want you to practice this because eventually you're going to end up having to do it. So instead of making you write it today, I just simply want you to go to Desmos and practice changing this to a table. So to change it to a table, you're going to hit this gear. Okay. And then it brings up some stuff. And this thing right here that kind of looks like a T-table, that's a table. So you click on this, convert to a table, and boom, it changes it to a table. And we're going to need this, especially here later on this week. We're really going to need this table. So we want to make sure that y'all know how to do that. All right. So that's the main part of what you're going to be doing today. So you'll kind of do this throughout the rest of the worksheet. Then on the other side of the worksheet, it gets even easier. We're still not doing slope. So we're still not going to do slope on any of these. I just want you to find the X and Y intercept. Now, these three are a little bit tougher than the rest of these because the rest of these, you can see the numbers. But we want to find where it crosses the X axis and where it crosses the Y axis. So I want to remind you that this is 0, not 1. That's 0 right there. Going down is negative. Going up is positive. And then when you're on the x-axis, going left is negative and going to the right is positive. So that's the same on these three too. So right here, if I wanted to find the x-intercept from 0, I would go over -1, -2, -3. So the x-intercept is -3. And then to find the y-intercept from 0, I go -1, -2, -3. So that's also -3. And that's all you're going to do. So these questions should really fly by.